Welcome back, Ace Runners, to Day 2 of the 2023 Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship. Coverage brought to you by Ace Run Pro. This is a PDGA X8 tier, and my name is Holly Finley.
I am Raven Klein, and we have brought you the back nine. We are at Winthrop Arena in Rock Hill, South Carolina. If you haven't had a chance to go watch the front nine, please do so, and then you'll be all caught up.
You might see some throw-ins.
Maybe, who knows?
Checking into the leaderboard, Evelina sitting in first, Henna in second, and
Aliyah's Ra, middling. Yes, she is in third place. She is only 16.
Let's check out hole 10, par 3, 331 feet. If you're in this division, you should be able to throw 315 and get over that out of bounds and get a look at a birdie too, but sometimes it's just playing a little longer. Also, that tee pad is slightly angled uphill. Now, if you can't get over, you can play around. Just chip it up over to the left side. You can even chip it up again and play it for a 4 if you're scared. Or, chip, have a look at par.
Bet you won't.
You won't do it.
You won't do it.
Missy Gannon up first. She's looking at the birdie. She's gone over the bush on the right side with a high hyzer.
She does clear the
It's not
OB.
short.
It's hard to tell.
It is.
From the tee.
Missy is safe putting for birdie. Ohn, she knows her limits, and she is laying up to the left side. She's going to play the hole for a 3.
Ooh, that's a little low. Okay, never mind. It looked like it was going to sink. Alexis getting a skip puts her into the safe area. Kaidi, plenty of power. She does more of a pushing hyzer over the right side.
Wow.
And she is just, a little roll away, but outside the brick.
Kaidi pin deep. And from here, Ohn has about 180 to get to the bricks. And she has done just that. Missy Gannon for birdie.
Oh.
Just off the front of the cage. I like how Missy still smiles after a missed putt.
Yeah.
She's not punching the ground or slapping her leg. I like that.
I do too.
She's like, oh man, that was an opportunity. I liked it.
Yeah.
Kaidi in for birdie. Alexis pulled her shot a little to the right, so she does not get the birdie.
Ohn will collect the par that she played for.
I like that Ohn showed us how to do the par run here.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that on coverage yet.
True.
Alexis in for par. We are so lucky this week with the weather. A lot of times you're putting on this hole and the wind is just
windy.
raging.
Or it's just a downpour. Hole 11, par 4, 598 feet. We have a mix of OB as well as these hazard bubbles that line the entire fairway. A lot of players' first shots are just going to hyzer right here to the left, allowing them to make the decision to either go for the basket or even do a second pitch up to the edge of this safe area before the bubbles. A lot of players will play this for a 4 if they're out of position because the hazards take up most of the fairway. Trying to remember the show. It was a kid's show. And these bubbles, roly-poly-oly. The bubbles remind me of it because they all had these circles in their yards, and I don't. That's it. That's all I have. But
Kaidi did a safe hyzer to the first landing zone, and Missy is following suit.
very few people get overly aggressive on this tee shot because there isn't a lot to gain from it.
Ohn in the first landing zone. As well as Alexis. And from Ohn's position, she has about 330 into the green. And she has landed high just outside of the circle. She'll have a 38-foot downhill putt for a birdie 3. Kaidi looking at about 300. She is using all of 360 to get there.
Ooh.
What an incredible shot.
That is a beautiful shot. I do love the play of being able to swing something on the high side of the hill and letting it crash down toward the basket.
Alexis with 295 into the green, and hers does not hyzer enough. She is in the hazard. She could still save par with a courageous putt. Missy with 290 to get to the basket.
Beautiful shot. Uses the slope of the hill well.
Impressive angle control.
Yeah.
Alexis to save par. What a save, Alexis.
Didn't even take a second.
She doesn't ever take a second. That's...
I wonder at what point she was 100%, walking up, that she was like, oh yeah, perfect. Oh, that's fine.
Ohn in for par. Must have missed Ohn's putt attempt.
Yeah. Kaidi in for the birdie.
It's 2 in a row for Kaidi.
Yeah. Missy in for the birdie as well.
Missy now at 4 under par for the round. Hole 12, par 5, 901 feet off of the tee, a downhill shot. You do have this out of bounds circle, which is a popular landing zone. I'd say you can hyzer short of that or over it. Your second shot is going to be right about where the dead grass is on this hill or a little past it. If you want to be aggressive, you can push it closer to this OB line. Your third shot is going to fly over the out of bounds to the green where you can probably only see the flag, perhaps, and hope that it lands in bounds. Now, the rules on this hole are very unique. Any out of bounds shots are restricted to the previous lie or the drop zone. So it really makes you choose your shots carefully. Kaidi is safe off the tee. She told me that's how to pronounce her name. Heidi with a K.
Yep.
Missy safe off the tee.
I know, I keep thinking of a kite. Like Kaidi. Ohn with the forehand off the tee. Gets a good flex, and she should be at the top of the hillside. Slightly better footing. Alexis, pretty straight off the tee, and she should hyzer down. Okay, I wasn't sure how far down the hill she was actually going to get.
First up, Alexis moving towards that dead grass patch I mentioned, which will give her about 285 into the basket.
Oh, and also just gaining some distance into the center of that fairway. From where she is, she will not be able to see the top of the flag. I would say if you want to play that placement shot, a lot of players like the higher left side of the hill where Missy is landing here, because you might actually have a better view at the green.
At least see half of the basket.
Yeah. I think people sometimes underestimate how helpful it is to know exactly where you're throwing, even though the shot doesn't change. It's kind of like balancing on one foot and then trying to do that while you close your eyes. It's a lot harder than you think.
And from here, Ohn can be courageous and go for it, or just lay it up a little short to the left. And she's going for it.
Come on.
Ohn is going for it, and
Oh.
it is short. Red OB flag.
Yeah, so she can choose to either play from the drop zone or from her previous lie.
And Ohn is not going for it again. She's going to lay up to the more open area. Oh no, and she has shorted it again. Worst case scenario. That's what's really tough about this hole.
Yeah.
You know, 1 minute you're in position for birdie, and the next thing you know, you've taken a 12.
Yeah, and now she is playing the absolute safest version of the shot and just hyzering out away from that OB. And even her second shot, I mean, if she threw it like a foot further to the left, she probably would have been safe.
Missy going for it, clears it, and she is safe putting for birdie.
You can see Tom in the background. He's holding his heart, and he made him nervous.
Alexis, wow.
We can see the flag. I don't know if she necessarily could from where she was standing.
A great shot from Alexis.
Yeah, once you let go, you just have to wait and see what flag you get. Kaidi, however, in the best position to see the pin, pushes her shot and actually goes past the pin to the edge of the circle on the far side.
Ohn laying it up with her Millennium Test putter. Alexis, what a putt. In for the
Beautiful.
birdie.
She just wants all the run backs today. Super smooth, super confident. Love to see that.
I love the sound of those rocks around that basket.
Oh yeah, when you step on them.
Yes, every time I leave, I have to do a few extra rock crunches.
Kaidi leaves her putt just a little low. Ohn is in for the quad bogey on the 12th.
Ohn looking at a birdie, now going to take a 9.
Missy Gannon putting for birdie. She is in. Listening for the rocks. Kaidi in for the par here on the 12th. I do really like those rocks. They're almost delicate sounding. Like, you know, not a crunch.
Dainty rocks.
They're dainty rocks. Hole 13, par 4, 552 feet. The sidewalk itself is safe, but over on the right side, it is OB up until the far corner where the line juts out to the right. We are playing a different pin position today. It is short and on the right side. So your first shot, you can push your distance, but you don't want to hyzer out into the trees on the left, taking away any reasonable lie you might have. But on this particular pin position, your second shot, you're either throwing like a forehand in or something straight to give you a putt at it.
First up, Missy Gannon after 2 birdies in a row.
She is leaking a little bit to the left side, but she's on the edge, so she'll still be able to step out. If you have a disc where you trust that stability, I like the play of almost aiming for the sidewalk with enough height for it to come back. Alexis with a solid shot. You can always just play it lower, guarantee the ground hit.
I like to land more near the sidewalk when it's in the long straight position and more on the left side when it's tucked right behind that bush.
Yeah, I agree.
Kaidi in the middle of the fairway. She's got a good forehand, so we'll probably see one from her.
Ohn with a solid shot off the tee, and she's going to be more on the left side of the fairway, leaving her in good position for the forehand approach. Ooh. Cuts it a little close to that OB line, but she is safe and putting for birdie. Cut it way too close, made me nervous. It's also a little bit deceptive around the corner. You think you have more space than you do.
Kaidi was not aggressive with her angle, and she's actually landed on the left side of the sidewalk. She'll have a long putt at birdie, but I'm not sure if you'll want to go for that one.
Alexis's forehand pushes straight. She also doesn't want to get too close to the OB, but still has a birdie putt.
Missy needs to get past this OB.
When everyone's clapping.
Wow.
Okay.
Just enough.
Sometimes the claps can be deceptive because people will clap for not so great shots sometimes.
Alexis from Circle's Edge in again for the birdie, taking no time at all. Man, Mandujano. That putt puts her at 2 under for the round.
Yeah, she's definitely gotten back and some from some of those early holes there. Ohn in for the birdie. She'll start chipping away.
Look how close Missy was to that OB string.
And she might have even been closer. What if that's her meter? But she is in for the birdie, so way to capitalize. And then Kaidi will take a par here on the 13th.
With that birdie putt, Ohn's back to even.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast it can get away from you.
Yeah, this course has some hidden teeth.
Hole 14, par 3, 261 feet. Off the tee, you've got that forehand between the 2 left trees, or the right-hand backhand where the drone is flying now. The road on the right is out of bounds. You've also got this hazard area behind the basket, past these little rocks. The ideal shot would land right at the sidewalk and scoot right up to the pin and give you a drop in to the no stress putt.
The no stress putt, yes. I would say you mostly see players take this backhand, but we have seen people take the forehand approach on the left side.
Missy long past the circle in the hazard. She can still save par with an uphill putt.
It happens really fast on this hole, even if you're throwing a mid or like a slower putt approach disc.
Alexis, she does the same thing and lands right next to Missy in the hazard long.
See Ohn taking the forehand left side here. I like the height that she gave it, keeping it low, getting the skip, and she's inside the circle for a birdie putt. And from the better position, she's flat with the pin versus having the downhill putt.
Kaidi's shot was aimed more at the basket, so it's finishing left, and she is also long in the hazard. Now, everyone can still save par, but these are some very meaty uphill putts. Missy Gannon up first.
Ooh.
Off the front of the cage with a bit of a roll away.
Oh,
Alexis off the band.
Three metal hits for those par saves. All on target.
Ohn in for her second birdie in a row. That moves her back to under par for the round. It's like the 9 didn't even phase her.
No. Missy high and left on her putt, does not stay in the basket.
Alexis in for bogey.
Kaidi in for bogey, and Missy will take a double here on the 14th.
I hate getting a double here because it just feels like a birdie that you should be getting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's right there. It's downhill. Man. Every player under par.
I want to be known for winning a lot of tournaments. You know, hopefully I get to a point where I can be dominant in an era with so many people coming up in the game. So hard to stay consistent at the top. That's kind of my goal, is to set the new standard for this generation.
Welcome back. Hole 15, par 4, 467 feet. We have our second triple Mando of the course. You want to push something straight through here. If you want to get a little bit more greedy, you can maybe play something with a flare skip to the left, but you don't want to pinch yourself off for this second shot. Second shot, you're approaching toward the basket, which is guarded by a lot of trees. I would say erring to the left side leaves you with more options at an open putt. Common error is to go too straight or end up on the right side and be obstructed even inside the circle.
Shout out to the kind lady that always has candy here.
Oh yeah, the snack lady.
Yes, she's always offering us a trick or treat. Ohn Scoggins' backhand is perfect, putting her on that inside corner.
Alexis with a super smooth shot. She also pushes straight. And there's a second line of trees, but there's almost always a gap. I'm not going to say always, because someone will prove me wrong.
Kaidi right through the center, scooting past Alexis. Can Missy go 4 for 4?
Oh, you took the words out of my head. She cuts the left side tight, but does get the flare skip and is in good position. 4 for 4.
Very good drives. You can see she has a couple different gaps to choose from. She's opted for that slight turnover route. And she snuck up to the edge of the wood line. It looks like she might have a trick putt.
Yeah, that right side I do think is more difficult to find an opening because of those two big trees that you can actually see on the screen.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's better to just land over on the left of the bucket. It's so much more open.
Yeah, right here where Ohn just landed. Because when you approach, it almost seems like you went too far left, but everyone who's gotten up there usually has the putt. Unless
Missy
you can skip in.
sneaking through.
So Kaidi over here on the right side, she'll just have to chip something into the green.
That looks good. Look at this putt Alexis has.
Over?
Oh, a taste
off
of
a
the
tree.
trains.
Trying to bank shot something in. Ooh, Ohn just misses the right side for her birdie putt.
Missy Gannon is in for the birdie, moving her to 5 under for the round. It's pretty incredible. Missy just had that double and she's still 5 under.
Yeah, she's been having a great round. Kaidi in for the par, and Ohn in for the par. And Alexis will join them with a par.
Hole 16, par 3, 342 feet. We do have hazard on the right, which is a shared fairway. Now on the left, you have another bubble, which is also hazard. If you throw too long past the basket, again, more hazard. This is a unique shot. It's slightly downhill where you want to do a slight turnover. Although if you throw perfectly straight, that will get you a putt, but the basket is guarded by several big trees. Missy Gannon up first.
Oh, this looks really nice. Getting to the ground a little early, but she gets the skip and slide forward, and she is in the circle for birdie.
Missy has landed between the basket and that hazard on the right side, which is only about a 12-foot
It's, yeah, not a big
fairway.
space. Oh, Ohn almost placing it perfectly to get the skip in toward the basket, but catches the large guardian tree. But she still got all the way up there, so. Alexis Mandujano, third to tee. She also lands in the strip between the hazard and the basket.
That area is so small.
I feel like I haven't seen a card attempt that right side this many, of the same card. Usually see more players using the left side, like this.
Yes.
And just getting up there.
Yes. Kaidi circles edge, putting for birdie.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at that. And that it went well for everybody. Oh, Ohn from C2 just leaves it short and catches the cage.
Kaidi for birdie. It's in. What a putt. Circles edge in front of the crowd. That moves her at 2 under par for the round today. Missy Gannon low off the front of the cage.
That one almost seemed just not as smooth as Missy's normal putts.
I agree with that.
I feel like I couldn't tell you what it was, but it didn't look like her putt.
As you can see, Alexis is right by the basket, but it's guarded by these trees. So she's got the super straddle out left, in for birdie.
Great putt. Nice execution. Even though it only seems like a small change in angle, that is not an easy thing to adjust to outside of your normal putt.
Ohn drops in the par.
As does Missy. Oh, got a little tickle.
Now the long walk to 17.
Everyone's favorite hole. Hole 17, par 3, 254 feet. It is almost an island. If you want to pitch up about 30 feet, you can, and take this main tree on the right side out of your way, but then you still have to try and make this island. Today we are playing the right pin position, so you have a little bit more space to crash in. A lot of players will try and throw a forehand, but doesn't mean that's the only play. You can also see the backhand putter shot into the green. You have a lot of space on the right side, and we have 2 drop zones. So if you were to miss the first shot, we have a short drop zone, and if you were to miss that one, there's a drop zone from C2 on the island.
Alexis with a forehand off the tee. It's low, but it's over the bails. Safe putting for birdie.
Great shot.
Did you know if you go out of bounds off of the island, you have to re-putt from the same spot?
From the same spot. Yeah, I saw that a lot today.
Kaidi with a forehand off the tee, over the top of the basket, putting for birdie.
Great shot. Missy low and definitely getting the full straight flight. She gets a skip off of the left side of the island and does land in the water, so she will move up to the first drop zone.
Ohn short, almost skips over the hay bales, but does not make it, and she will move to the drop zone after Missy.
This tournament and the course is interesting because even though you have FPO and MPO playing out here, there are different rules for some of the holes, because this whole MPO just re-tees for 3 shots, I think, is their max.
Missy does a slow walk up from the drop spot, gives herself a putt. Ohn opts for a standstill with her rock 3.
Pushing it deep, and she is safe on the island. It looked like it was going to be deeper than that, so.
Kaidi for birdie.
Ooh, just leaves it low. This can be a nervy putt, and I've seen people go for it and then either hit the edge of the cage or the band, and they go OB from the putt.
Missy hits the front of the cage, just like the previous hole. Ohn in for bogey. Yeah, if Missy missed that and went over the bail, she would have to re-putt.
From the same spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alexis,
She
her
is
putting
just-
is beautiful
seriously.
today.
I feel like I need to go look up her putting stats.
Did you watch her at the All-Stars this year?
I saw some of it, yeah.
That was a display of putting expertise. You've
Yeah.
got to check that footage out.
Missy will take a double bogey here on the 17th, and Kaidi was in for the par.
Hole 18, we are here. The party's almost over. But not before we finish this par 5 coming in at 647 feet. Off the tee, you can be aggressive and go for max distance, but just landing safe would be preferred. Your second shot, chip it up to the stinky tree on the right, or again, go for max distance, hopefully landing all the way at the corner or around it. That should give you a short pitch up into the green, which requires a lot of speed and angle control. Maybe we'll look at a birdie 4.
Maybe.
We've only seen one eagle here so far this year. Alexis Mandujano up first after 2 birdies in a row. Forehand off the tee.
Good control there. Relax. Good control there. Going for it to just dig into the side. I actually think that the roll might have put her in better position to attack around the Mando. Kaidi keeping it low, which she plays up to that higher right side.
Only one person allowed on the dock at a time.
True.
Don't crowd the dock, please.
Except for the camera person.
Well, yeah.
Only one player at a time.
One playa at a time. Ohn with a forehand off the tee. Little past Alexis, and she is safe in the middle of the fairway. Missy throwing over that bush. She's on the higher side.
Gets the most distance out of the card, but everyone, I would say, is in pretty good position for this second shot.
And from here, Alexis is probably going to chip up to the ginkgo tree.
Yeah,
A
it's
nice-
hard to tell from there.
It is.
It seems like you have more space, but that right side comes in on you really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The tree is a good aiming point.
Heidi pulls her shot a little left.
She does catch the branches and falls OB on that left side.
Ohn with the shot more similar to Alexis.
Keeps it low. Oh, wow. Okay. Looked like she was about to go OB and catches a low branch maybe, but it keeps her in bounds.
Missy's standstill forehand placement. She is safe. And it looks as if Kaidi
took relief back from the basket, yeah.
That was smart.
She pushes the OB on the right side of the green. That one, I think, comes in even faster than the rest of it does.
Alexis is back to that zone she threw in earlier, and she has parked it.
Beautiful.
I see why she's got that disc in the bag.
Yeah. Missy also playing this hyzer shot, hoping to get some ground action toward the basket. Probably not as close as she wants, but she is in the circle. So Ohn was safe from this shot, but she is definitely tight to the corner.
Ohn sneaks inside the circle. First up, Kaidi.
Ooh, love the commitment of the run. Catches a good amount of chains, but she was a little left side, and she did stay at the top. You running this?
Yes.
Good. That was the correct answer.
Missy Gannon in for birdie. What a brave putt. Ohn also in for birdie.
Kaidi in for the bogey here on the 18th.
That was a very forgiving fallout her putter had.
Yeah.
Still landing right there in the bullseye.
And Alexis in for birdie. 3 out of the 4 on our chase card. Getting a birdie here on the 18th. Well done. A lot of green here on the back 9. Missy Gannon shooting a 4 down even with 2 double bogeys. What a round for her. Check in here on the leaderboard.
I really enjoyed Alexis's display of putting here today.
Yeah, very solid. We have Ella Hansen and Holland Hanley both moving up to that lead card for tomorrow to join Evelina and Henna. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you'd like to support me, you can find my Tour Series Convict on the Dynamic Disc website.
If you'd like to support me, you can pick up a Holly Finley Innova It. It's a Star Color Glow Speed 7 fairway disc. Pick it up at your favorite online disc golf retailer or for the best price from Innova directly.
Thanks so much, and we will see you for round 3.